Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is another edition of 30 Parks in 30 Days. My name is Mike Redman, alongside my co-host, my brother, Darren Redman. And Darren, show us what you're wearing there. It looks Cubs-like.
It is Cubs. Ooh, look at this.
And
Yes.
Okay.
No name on the back, no number on the back. So it's open for future add-on if I want, but I just love it. And I figure we're talking about the Cubs right now. We're in the midst of these 30 Parks in 30 Days. Cubs, let's go.
Yes, we're so. Spring training has happened at the time of this recording, but we are so close to regular season and just enjoying. I've never enjoyed watching a number 72 play baseball more than I have this year. I feel like I have so much things going on, and so like to be able to just sit back and put a game on, and during the workday or in the evening,
Yep.
has been so needed. It's like healing for the soul. So
no, it really is, and I mean, I don't want to quote unquote wasted 10 minutes on this, but I don't want to hear another talking head. I just want to watch baseball, right? As we have two talking heads, you and me, but other than us.
Right. That's exactly. And before we get into the Cubs, let us chat about our good old pals at Nashville Tax Solutions.
Attention, Palm Bay and Fort Pierce. You're struggling with tax issues? Whether you're behind on filings, dealing with a lien, or just need some expert guidance, Nashville Tax Solutions is here to help. Their team knows the ins and outs of tax relief and is ready to fight for you. But don't just take my word for it. Don't just take Mike's word for it. Listen to what some clients have had to say. And I quote, Chris Bennett and his team saved me from a financial nightmare. They're knowledgeable, they're clear, and they're compassionate. So don't let tax troubles keep you up at night. Call 855-627-4829 and visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com today. Nashville Tax Solutions, because tax problems deserve a real solution.
Yes, they do. And so thank you so much, Christopher Bennett and team, and hope you are enjoying this series as much as we are. But definitely check them out. We are in the midst of tax season, so go ahead and let them take one more worry off your plate. One team so we're going to talk tonight about the Chicago Cubs, specifically the 2025 Chicago Cubs. This is a team that was not hesitant to make a ton of moves. Now, some of these guys may not be, some of them are, and some of them may not jump off the page at you. But I'm looking at a screen in front of me where there were a total, I believe, of 13 offseason acquisitions. This is a team, Darren, that finished tied for second place in the National League Central. So not too far out of things. So they felt like they had to make a lot of moves here. And to me, the biggest move on paper, of course, is outfielder Kyle Tucker with the trade with the Astros. Huge boost to the middle of that lineup. Mm-hmm. Do you love that? Do you like that move, or do you think it's a good fit?
I think it's a wonderful fit. Are you kidding? He will get revitalized, not that he needs to, and re-energized playing at Wrigley. Are you kidding? Anybody who goes over there, I'll talk about somebody else in a minute, but huge pickup by the Cubs.
Yeah, and this is a guy that can put the ball out of the yard, especially in this ballpark. It's going to have some, what do you call them? Video game like numbers, I believe, this season. Let's put it that way. So you said you had one other person that jumps off of you as well?
Yeah. So who did the Cubs pick up for first base this year?
That would be some guy that wasn't given an opportunity to play every day for the New York Mets. But
no, at third base.
Yeah. At third base at the time. And now this year he's going to be playing first base, correct? So
yeah, and can't you see Justin Turner just, again, not exploding, but first of all, he was dangerous with the Dodgers. Last year, sort of like, he's going to be a fan favorite, get dirty, kind of, mustard on his uniform after having a hot dog.
Yep, that kind of player.
Perfect fit for Chicago.
Yes, it is, and he's going to fit great in that lineup. Now, the opening day lineup actually has Michael Busch slated in at the first base position, but I feel like we're going to see a lot of Justin Turner this year. I'm not sure if they're going to go lefty-righty or whatnot, so I don't expect Justin Tucker to be, quote-unquote, a bench player. I feel like he'll still get the majority of playing time.
But I agree. He is the first baseman. Justin Turner was signed for a year. but he's going to be that guy, play 2-3 times a week at first base, DH probably a lot, off the bench, positive guy. He knows how to win. I mean, what's the downside?
Yeah, there's no downside with that transaction at all. The transaction, I'll go through some of these names here. Like I said, not a lot. Matthew Boyd, 2-year deal. Ryan Presley, Eli Morgan, Carson Kelly. One name that's familiar to me, at least, the third baseman John Birdie did some damage with the Marlins a couple years back. Vidal Brujan was one of the top prospects for the Rays. Never quite made it at major league level and went to the Marlins, and so they acquired him in the trades. I've seen him bat leadoff a little bit this early spring training season. But looking at that, let's also look at some of those subtractions. So as good as that lineup may look, they've lost some big names. We're talking about outfielder Cody Bellinger now with the New York Yankees. They lost outfielder Mike Tauchman to the White Sox, and then Isaac Paredes, who was a staple with the Tampa Bay Rays for a little bit, was traded with the Astros, and now now with the Chicago Cubs, and or no longer with the Cubs, now to the Astros. So in the trade. So those are some big shoes to fill. Jorge Lopez, another pitcher, really went to the Nationals. Kyle Hendricks, right-hand pitcher, went to the Angels. So quite a few notable subtractions there. But that starting rotation, we know that in the Tokyo series that Shota Imanga is going to be the opening day starter to face the Dodgers in that 2-game series. And shout out to the Cubs. I know it's spring training, but 2-0 against the Dodgers in spring training already this season. I'd like to see that. But
by the way, in 2-0 and not playing their starters 9 innings, if you know what I mean. It's a deep team. You want the team to gel together, philosophies. I mean, I watched both of those games, and it's interesting because I'm looking forward to when we talk about the Yankees. They've really, I think, improved their team from last year. I mean, they lost Juan Soto, right? But Cody Bellinger is a stud. Don't you think?
He's still young. I mean, may not be like young, but still young enough to have some really good years there. We're looking forward to that. But again, this is a rotation. Shota Imanga, we got Jameson Italian, we got Justin Steele, Matthew Boyd, and Colin Ree at the last spot there. And then diving into that lineup, you got Ian Happ leading off, Dansby Swanson in the 2 spot there, Kyle Tucker, Suzuki at DH. We got Bush at first base, Matt Shaw, John Birdie, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Miguel Amaya at catcher. So Darren, let me ask you, put you on the spot here. The Cubs finished 83-79, like I said, tied for second in the NL Central. So do they improve? Do they stay exactly the same, or do they go a little bit under that this year? And are they a playoff team?
Again, I always have to put the caveat, barring injuries, above and beyond injuries. I think they sneak into playoffs. I think they're like the Brewers, that kind of team that they'll just be there. They'll just be there. And they're not afraid to spend money. They have a wonderful, wonderful fan base. And it's, again, we talk about some of these teams, right? It's always a better year when the Cubs are involved in playoffs.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I know there's only 7 spots to be given. And so we can't say that everybody's in, but it's not going to be the exact same teams as the year before. There's going to be some teams that slide in there. And I think the Cubs will do just enough to get that last wild card spot. So I
think they take Milwaukee out. I think that's what it is. They take Milwaukee out and you put the Cubs in.
Yeah, that could be very well true. So we will find out. And if they're around that same mark or slightly better, then that's definitely the case. Just the last couple quick things. They are number 15 in the farm system ranking, so kind of middle of the pack there. Their top prospect, his name is Matt Shaw, third baseman. And one of their left-handed pitchers from Drew Smiley is still a free agent, so we'll see what happens there. But this is a year to be excited to be a Cubs fan. I believe this is a year that they're going to move forward, not backward. So, yep, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch them. So final thoughts, anything Cubs fans should, anything I may have not mentioned that you could think of before we wrap things up here in our little preview of the Cubs 2025 season?
Cub fans, I think you're in for a good year. I don't think you'll win a World Series, but I think you're in for a very good, enjoyable, very competitive year. Good year to be a Cubs fan.
Yes. Definitely. So, well, thank you all so very, very much. We appreciate you watching this edition of 30 Parks in 30 Days. Hope you continue to watch the rest of our series and then follow us along this entire MLB baseball season. So until next time, everybody, we'll see you around the ballpark.